Hi everybody, I'm Loren from the Given Gardens Project.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Ty. And let us show you around.
So, welcome to our greenhouse. This is where we start all our seeds and propagate all our little seedlings. Let's go inside. So we start all our seeds in little trays like this. We're using an organic seedling mix. We go through and put one seed in each cell. We have our peppers and eggplants on heat mats this year because it's fairly cold at night. That just helps us get better germination. So we grow most of our starts to about this size, at which point they'll be transplanted out into the field, and eventually these will be our nice peppers. So this greenhouse is built from recycled and reused materials. All the beams have all come out of a dumpster, and my stepdad and I welded it together. The tables are made out of old horse corral with hardware cloth put on top of them. As you can see, we grow a number of different things in here. We have tomatoes started in larger pots, lettuces and pak choi and kale started in smaller cells. These have 128 cells per tray, whereas these ones have 72, and these are kohlrabi. So we start everything in here that we're not direct seeding.
So here at the Given Gardens Project, we use what we call a hand farming method. So what we do is we utilize these long raised beds that we've formed and shaped by hand. We do all our planting, harvesting, weeding, tending the rows, all by hand. We do use the tractor a bit. We do things like turn our cover crop over, mix our compost, do some of the heavy work with the tractor, but most of our basic farming is done basically by hand. You can see right next to me here, we have some fava beans. These fava beans are the same as the ones we're growing in the cover crop. The only difference here is we've planted these in this nice straight row, and we'll actually take these fava beans and we'll use these as the bean to sell to our restaurant customers and to our CSA customers. Here we have a row of beets that's just getting started. Still has a lot of weeds in there, so what we'll do is we'll get in there and we'll actually just go down each side of the row by hand, and we'll just pull out those weeds, thin the beets, and let them grow and get a little bigger. Next row over here, we've planted some onions and leeks. Same thing, we've just come through with the seeder, just direct seeded these, and they're just getting going. Real small still. You can see they're about as long as a finger. These give these another 6 months or so. They'll be nice big onions, about the size of my fist. Big leeks, about 1 or 2 inches around. Moving over, we have a row of carrots. Same thing. We've just direct seeded these carrots right out into this row, and basically letting them grow. We've used this hay in the pathway here to suppress some of the weeds. What we'll do is we'll come through, take this hand weeder, we'll weed out some of the weeds, lay down a thick layer of mulch, and this will get us by most of the summer without having to do too much more weeding in this section here. Moving over here, we have some more beets. This here is actually a half row of beets in the front here. Behind that, there's some turnips. It's kind of a combination row. Moving over here, we have some radishes, and then so on and so forth. Just a vast variety of different crops here. What we're trying to do is grow for a CSA and for restaurants. So what that means is that we need a large variety of crops. We need a little bit of a lot of things to be able to provide good variety in every week's box, and also to be able to provide chefs with a good variety of products and not just be offering the same thing. Really, they work together, being able to sell to restaurants and to CSA. It's kind of the same style of farming. That's really what we do here. We have some beans, peas, we have broccoli, Romanesco, we have cabbage. We've planted some tatsoi, some pak choi, we have arugula, mustard greens, mizuna, we have some rainbow chard, some varieties of kale. We're working on planting a bunch of lettuces soon, as well as all your hot weather summer crops, but they're all in our greenhouse right now, but we'll plant those out as transplants in the next couple weeks, such as eggplants, peppers, tomatoes, squash, really a large variety of all those things.
So here we are in our little mini orchard. We have our chickens out here keeping the bugs down and fertilizing the ground for us. We found that since we have been rotating the chickens in and out of the orchard, we have a lot less pest problems, and especially on our peach trees over here, we find that we get less peach leaf curl. So in our mini orchard, we have a number of different trees. We don't have many of one particular variety, but we have pears and plums and apples, a few peaches, a few almonds, but a little mix of everything. And though it's a small orchard, it's quite productive. So with this property, our goal has been to change it out to mostly grow perennial crops and long-standing crops. Here behind us, We have asparagus. It's just finished this season now, so we're just letting it grow out. Over here is our trellis that we have hops planted on and thornless blackberries. So welcome to our hoop houses. These two are identical, and we use them in the summer to trap heat in to grow harder to grow crops such as eggplants and peppers. These are both built out of recycled materials and stuff that's been found out of junk piles. All of the PVC was found in a garbage pile, and all of the tea stakes have all been recycled and reused. And on the ground we have oyster shell and compost, and they're pretty much ready to plant. We're just waiting for our starts to get a little bit bigger and ready to go outside.
Another thing that's important to us here at the Giving Gardens project is the pollinators. It doesn't look like too much now, but in amongst the weeds, we have a lot of perennials as well as annuals that have come up from last year that attract and promote the beneficial insects. Bees, other predatory wasps are important for hunting the bad insects that are attacking our vegetables. We don't use pesticides, so it's very important to have something like this on the farm, as well as spread out throughout the farm. We let lettuces and dill, fennel, kale go to seed so that we can promote this kind of ecosystem with these beneficial insects. A couple of the things that we have planted in the hedgerow, this is one with will be planted, it's called bee balm. It attracts bees as well as hummingbirds, which are also very beneficial pollinators. We also have a lot of California poppies. This growing right here is Clarkia, and we have a lot of salvias, echinacea, and many other mints and different herbs that bees love, as well as the hummingbirds and the butterflies too. So it brings beauty to our farm as well as serving a purpose.
So here we are with our beehives. We have 6 beehives this year. One we caught on the property. There was a swarm of wild bees that we were able to actually capture and put into the smallest box over here. We keep the bees in part for the honey. We haven't harvested any honey yet because the hives are young, but eventually we hope to, and they're also here to help pollinate all our crops, such as our tomatoes and our peppers.
Here at the Giving Gardens project, we deliver straight to your door, and we pre-wash on the farm, so we always recommend another wash, but you're not getting dirt with your produce. Dirt-free and delivered to your door.
All right, so I'm out here in a portion of our cover crop for the year. This is a mix of peas and vetch and fava beans, but we grow this once a year for soil fertility, and soil fertility is definitely super important to us with an organic growing system. And so this field here will be tilled into the ground soon. Most of the crops here are nitrogen fixers, so they're pulling nitrogen out of the air, and we'll till them into the ground to enrich our soil. So here's our compost pile. This is a mixture of crop residue from last year, all the unusable produce. We also have animal manure from all our animals and wood chips mixed in here. And we will compost this for about 6 months and turn it a number of times to keep it heated up, to kill weed seeds, eventually incorporate it into our soil to help enrich soil fertility. At the Giving Gardens project, we feel that generosity is key to our success. We feel by giving to the soil and nurturing the soil gives back to us, and in turn we're able to share with our community. We do that by donating at least 10 to 20% of all of our produce.
These donations come in the form of donations to schools. Through our CSA, we also donate to local food banks and to the Series project in Sebastopol, which makes meals for cancer patients and their families.
Thanks for joining us today. If you'd like to find out more information about who we are or what we do, or you're interested in signing up for our CSA, please visit us at thegivingGardensProject.com. Thanks, bye.